So today I want to point out a few pitfalls, a few things you should avoid when you're trying to promote your music, where to spend your money and where to not spend it. And I'm not going to ask you for any money. I'm just going to try to tell you what's worked and hasn't worked for me. Hey, I'm Ryan Torpea. I've been a musician for 15 years, been playing anything from wedding gigs to bar gigs to recording sessions. And the one thing I've learned is that music promotion is a racket. I've been a sideman for most of my career, playing trumpet behind people, playing keyboard behind people, playing guitar behind people, or being their producer, being their engineer, mixing, mastering an album. But for about the past 5 years or so, I've been recording my own music and being more of an artist. The one difference I've seen between being like a side guy and being in a band and being the artist is that being an artist kind of sucks. And I think there's a reason it sucks. And I'm starting to see why. Partially because nobody has any actionable advice. When I started to really promote my own music and try to get people that weren't my mom or my friend or my bandmates from some other band to listen to it, the biggest thing at the time was playlisting. And even though I still see a ton of people saying that playlisting is the only way to really get your music out there and to get it heard by more people, SubmitHub just seemed like a trap. I spent a lot of time, money, and emotional energy on SubmitHub just trying to get people to listen to the songs. And even though I had some success with SubmitHub, I wouldn't say it was a lot, and I also feel like all the numbers were kind of a lie. So today I want to talk about what to look out for, and without asking for any of your money, maybe find a few solutions and share what's worked for me and what hasn't. So the first thing I hear about promoting your music is you've got to get on playlists. But I also hear that SubmitHub's dead. All the other platforms that allow you to submit your music to playlists for $1 a listen seem to be dead. And while I also know a few other people that has maybe worked out for, it certainly doesn't seem to be consistent, and it certainly doesn't seem to have ROI. I don't know if playlisting is truly dead, but that seems to be the word on the street, and you could tell me different down below. Kind of leads me to my next point, is these music promotion companies that I'm seeing advertised all over social media. I can't open my phone without seeing some sort of app for growing my creative marketing. Your music just needs to be out there to be heard. We can do it. I have gotten pitched every way to Sunday on these things. Some of them are a little more affordable, some of them are a little bit more on the expensive side. And I decided to just take a stab and go for it, and I tried one. So the company I tried out was called Apolone, I don't know. It was on an app, and it showed up and I clicked the button. And when I clicked the button, it took me to their website, and their website said, hey, we can do all of these things for all these packages. The first thing they said they would do is get influencers to make reels and TikToks with my song in the background, and that this would flood a ton of traffic to me because these influential people who make these influential videos were gonna get it seen by all these music lovers, and they were gonna come searching for me. And the problem with this model of just paying someone a lump sum of money to go out and shovel your music to everyone is that you don't really know how they're doing it. So anyway, after a few days go by, I start to just check out and see, are they actually using my song on these reels? What videos are being made with my song? You know, I want to see what content my stuff is attached to. And it was garbage. It was just brain rot garbage. And I don't mean brain rot garbage in the way that you're like, I don't want my kids to watch this SpongeBob crap. It just literally didn't make sense. When I reached out about this, I basically got no response. So I just left it and said, let's see what they do with the playlisting side of things. A few days later, I was added to a couple playlists, and I did get some streams off of them. But then I decided to do a little more research. But it quickly became evident that those streams weren't really organic and that they probably weren't real people. When I went to the profile of the people hosting the playlist, I discovered that both of the playlists were made by the same person who had 0 followers on their personal profile. And this is about when I started to get mad. Another thing that this promotion company offered to me was doing an article to have some sort of SEO benefit, but when I was waiting to be reached out to be interviewed by someone who I thought would be writing this article, I basically got an email with just a blank slate of questions and fill them out. And I've seen this before. They just kind of like use AI to stuff your responses to the questions. There's not even like anything that connects the questions together. There's no segues, there's nothing clever, and there is no write-up about you. It's just formatting information that you yourself could write down. So once I did a little more digging into Spotify's own terms and conditions, I really kind of found out that all of these music promotion sites are just illegal. And while I don't think that Spotify is the most morally upstanding business or company, I can concede to the sentiment that the precedent of being able to just buy streams is not really a good one. So far, based on some of the other research of these other companies that I've been advertised, I haven't really found anybody that's been worth their weight in salt. But what I can tell you has worked for me has been actually paying for ads through the platforms themselves. And I'm not talking about meta ads or the pixel or like whatever that kind of fancy stuff is that sounds too confusing and is hard to follow on YouTube and you end up giving up halfway through. I'm talking about just going to Instagram, scrolling to the thing and saying, boost this post. Because I've actually gotten followers from that. I've actually gotten people to listen to my music. So one of the things I've been doing that actually has been working a little bit is going on TikTok live streams where people are reviewing music.
W Mix Voice.
It seems like this is a pretty set up, established flow now. There's usually a link where you can go to submit your music, and then there's usually some sort of feature where you can pay $5, $10, $20 to skip people in line so your music gets heard on the stream faster. And while I can say from a review perspective, kinda also seems like a racket and I haven't really gotten great advice, I would be really hesitant to call these music reviewers reviewing tracks. I will say that it's gotten my music in front of a lot of other people that wouldn't usually hear it. So if you've got a little money burning a hole in your pocket and you just want to see how it works, I would start there. You can actually talk and converse with the people in the chat that are music lovers and assumably probably other musicians themselves. And if your music is good, you might garner some respect from some really great producers or people that are great at reviewing music. So I just wanted to take a second to talk about some of these weird things I'm seeing in the music industry and also take a stab at doing another talking head series because I just haven't done videos like this in a long while. If you like it, subscribe to my channel. I think I'm gonna talk about some more music crap here. And I hope we can figure out like a way to create some more equity in this space because I think everybody deserves to be heard and I think everybody deserves to feel seen as an artist.